Welcome to Divinity 648. My name is Christina. I'm a high vibrational energy intuitive, and this is the bedroom conversation for anyone who has Capricorn and Sagittarius in their birth chart, regardless of the placements. There's two individuals involved in this dynamic. I am not seeing a third individual at all. Um, One person is, I feel like they may have been involved with one too many and they've left some people behind. Someone specifically is emotionally distraught, and others are just in kind of not so much admiration, but more so in curiosity. Like, who is this person? Why does that person have this person's attention over the other, right? And there's somebody, or even a few, who are really upset with the fact that they are no longer going to be able to occupy the time and attention of person A. So person B is really on their path. They're trying really hard to stay in alignment with the things that they know they're supposed to be focused on and getting where they're supposed to be, regardless of the obstacles and trials that are being thrown at them. Okay. And I do see that person A is definitely rushing in to express emotions and explain themselves as little as possible, right? It's almost like I don't want to say too much because I don't know how much person B actually knows. So if I say too much, I might get myself into even more trouble than what I'm already in. Or I'll be, if I think I'm in the doghouse now, I'm going to be in the doghouse for real, if they know every single detail. So I don't want to person A doesn't want to express every single thing, every single detail, because then they have to really um, say it all, right? And there's some things that person B might not understand or know about completely, but have ideas of, but no confirmation. And it's almost like make or break, right? It's almost like if I find out about this, that's it kind of feeling. Person A has really taken their sweet fucking time when it comes to expressing emotional desires and emotional feelings, okay? Expressing it, right? So if they are this I don't talk about feelings, I don't show emotions kind of person, they're finally stepping into that energy of showing those emotions, expressing those feelings. There's another aspect of it where it's like um they still want to go slow. It's like they want to still go slow. Like they're rushing in with this energy of I need to give you commitment. I need to give you love. I need to give you everything that you've been asking for. But they're still going slow when it comes to actually living in it. Okay? And person B is kind of like I'm ready for it now. I'm not That's it. I'm ready for it now. Like, there needs to be communication on some level here to remove that obstacle, to remove that blockage, because one is going through a serious rude awakening, right? They're just now realizing, oh shit, we live in dimensions. They're realizing, they're realizing a lot of things. They're having a spiritual awakening. They're realizing that maybe the person that they've been involved with, um, there's just more to it, right? And person A actually does really see person B as their person. They really do feel these strong desires towards them. Um, and person B is kind of like distracted. It's like if they're intimate, their mind is somewhere else. And person A would be all up in the moment, really trying to show that this is physically what they desire in demonstrating that behavior, right? That level of intimacy. And person B is like, my mind is somewhere else. And there is external influences at play, for real, for real. Um, these external influences were to kind of cause a discord between the two of you, okay? Now, external influences will vary based on your dynamic and the type of people you surround yourself with. If you like low vibrational basic bitches, you're going to have things like craft involved, plain and simple. If you involve yourself with people who just um run their mouth a lot, then it could just be, inner conflict as an external influence, right? It could be the mind racing about other things, separate from that union that keeps them from being in the now sexually and intimately during sexual intimate times. Um, I do see that, you know, between the two, A and B, neither feel like they're wearing their crown anymore, in that dynamic. So the masculine energy might feel like he's no longer um, the only one. He might feel like he's lost his person. He might feel like his person's no longer being extremely submissive or demonstrating that unconditional love when they're physically next to each other. And that's because, sorry to say that, but it's because he's done this to the feminine. The feminine doesn't feel um, the way that she used to feel because of the masculine's behavior or lack of appropriate behavior, or the amount of time that it's taking him to step up to the plate and actually um, take things to the next level, right? So it's like you guys have, uh, I feel like the intimacy has been outward, right? Like outside intimacy. It's not an intimacy within the same home. So either you guys live in separate cities, you live in separate states, you live in separate houses, family dynamics, whatever. It just feels like whenever there's intimacy, it's of separate households, it's of separate dynamics. And at this point in the union, it really needs to be one household, one dynamic, right? Um, and I see that the lack of proper, it's not even so much that there's too many pans in the pot, it's just there's not enough communication, there's not enough explaining how each other feels, right? And I understand that a person B is not going anywhere. They want to, they definitely want to, they're definitely they're in motion. They're in motion. They're doing what they need to do. They definitely want a better dynamic, and they're not really entertaining less than what they want at this point. So it really is boss the fuck up or sit the fuck down kind of energy from the feminine. The feminine is healing from heartache. The feminine is healing from a lot of deceitful energy, and not necessarily just from the masculine counterpart, just in general. Just in general, the feminine is literally like when you get stitches and the stitches come out but the scar's still healing. That's kind of like where the feminine's at, still healing, not low vibrational healing where if there's communication the feminine's gonna pop off and be screaming and yelling and pointing fingers, but still healing in the sense where I don't know that I fucking trust you. I don't know that I even want to wait around for you. Like, I don't think the feminine plans on waiting. But I do see the masculine rushing in with an expression or some level of a better situation. The bottom line is the masculine energy in this dynamic really loves the shit out of his feminine, and regardless of what he's done in the past, she's just over it, plain and simple. Um, really just over the bullshit, over the fuckery. She's kind of standoffish because it's like the masculine would do so much to get that level of um commitment or love or dedication or loyalty from his feminine, and then fall back and do what he's used to doing, right? Go back into the flow of life like everything's great and no change needs to happen. And then the feminine would get back in that energy of fuck this shit, fuck that, I'm done, all this nonsense, more so internally than externally, and start distancing themselves, and then the cycle just repeats. So now this feminine is like, I'm not allowing you to make me repeat and stay in dynamics that don't make me happy. The feminine is adamant that the masculine bosses the fuck up 100%, or just get out of the way, period. Um, period. The feminine is dedicated to being in alignment with who they are. And true divine feminines understand that if you're not following every single principle of Mayat, respecting the order of that, you're going to have more karmic lessons. And the feminine is just done with the karmic lessons. So the masculine really does need to boss up. The masculine's about to go through some the masculine energy is about to go through it. If they're not already going through it, they're seriously about to go through it. And this is because of their own choices, their own actions, and I almost feel like they've even done some healing or have gone through some type of level of hardship, to get to where they're at this point, and that allowed them to decide, okay, I need to stop messing with that one. I need to leave all these other hoes and thoughts to the side. And I need to really like just be a one woman kind of man, because I'm not getting any younger. And the females that I'm entertaining would definitely check his fucking ass into a fucking nursing home and let him sit in his own shit. And he's realizing it. He's realizing it. He's realizing that the people in his life are only in his life because of the fact that he's so beneficial. And that's painful alone. It's very painful for him to realize that he's surrounded by superficial people that only involve themselves with individuals based on the benefit. So if he was broke or had nothing, they wouldn't even entertain him. If he got sick or had a stroke and needed home health care, they wouldn't be the type of individual to put those sleeves up and give him a bath. And those are the things that are really starting to hit the masculine in the face, because the masculine is understanding this and the masculine is seeing it very clearly. The feminine's still attracted to the masculine. The feminine is definitely um still wanting the connection with the masculine, but not willing to wait for it, and being open and okay with moving on and being with someone else if necessary. Um, if necessary. So the masculine needs to start treating his feminine like the empress that she is, especially if he's been missing that type of level of commitment from her. Because now the tables have turned, where the feminine used to cater to and be extremely submissive and loving to the masculine. It is now the masculine's responsibility to fill that role. It is now the masculine's role to cater to and be submissive to the feminine. I do see her reciprocating it after a while, but not right away. Because the feminine's guard is up. The feminine has this I'm okay if this works out and I'm okay if it doesn't kind of flow. And the feminine's just like, I'm so used to you fucking up. I'm so used to you wasting my time. I'm so used to you drinking from my cup and never filling it back up again, that I'm not making this easy for you. I'm not allowing you to be in that flow anymore. So you're really going to have to prove yourself now. And the feminine's not tolerating anything different than that. Um, so again, this goddess called Hera, she is spring energy. She favors young brides. She favors basically youth and beauty. She's coming through So there's a marriage proposal that's coming for some of you. Maybe that's the level of commitment that's required. Uh, Even at that, I don't see the feminine folding for something like that either. I feel like the feminine will go into union with the masculine without any issues, but the feminine's still going to have that guard up. The feminine's going to be looking for physical, tangible behavior changes and evidence that the masculine is all about that union and is seriously done with the fuckery. Um, this is kind of like it for the masculines, right? The masculines who've had so many opportunities and have not progressed. This is really it. This is that make or break moment for you. It's that level the fuck up or you're sinking, you're being left behind. And the feminine is not turning a cheek. She's not gonna allow herself to be blinded by anything either. So you really need to come hard and you really need to be about what you say. There's not going to be any superficial, shallow behavior. This feminine's guard is up. So, regardless if you are the Sagittarius, the Capricorn, or your person has these placements, um, feminine's all about action. Feminine is all about, be about it. Like, I want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it temporarily like I always do. Like, you need to show the fuck up and be consistent for like indefinitely. Like, indefinitely. Because if you think you're going to play this game where you're like showing up as the emperor and you've got shit on lock, and then after a year and a half, or after you knock the chick up or get married, you think you're going to go back to your fuckery, this feminine's not fucking having it. And I am hearing the word prenup. We want prenup. Feminines want fucking prenups. They don't give a shit what you have. They're not with you for what you have. They don't care if they have nothing. They understand you're not with them for anything that they have because they have nothing to give you, some of them. Um, but feminines are yelling the word prenup. Feminines are like, no, you're not trapping me. You're not keeping me in this dynamic. You're going to be the man that you claim to be, and you're going to be that man indefinitely, because the first time you go back to the old fuckery, your ass is fucking gone. Your ass will be gone. Feminines are not playing games. I like that energy. I like that energy. So feminines are in this real empress kind of mode, right? They're in that crone phase, right? So you have like three major generations. You have the grandmother figure, the parent figure, and then the child figure. Feminines are standing in that grandmother energy, right? That been there, done that, not entertaining it. That boss the fuck up. I deserve this. I'm getting this, whether you're a part of it or you're not a part of it. And there's not a damn fucking thing you're going to do in this lifetime between the two of us that's going to force me to be in a dynamic that I'm not fucking happy in. So you really have to own your shit. And this is rightfully so. Some of you people had your feminines in some fuckery for quite some time. You can't seriously be like, oh, I'm just going to throw in the towel because now I've got to be on my best behavior for the rest of my life. Are you kidding? She's been on her best behavior for how many fucking years while you've been a fuckboy or playing games or doing God knows what? Yeah, it's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn all the way. You need to start treating your feminine like the empress she is, the same way she treated you like the emperor you were not. Ooh. Divine masculines, your feminine saw the emperor in you before you did. Your feminines saw you for your full potential before you could. And they treated you the way that you deserve to be treated before you deserved it. So now it's your turn to treat them the way that you should have been treating them, but didn't. Um, Communication is key here. Some type of level of communication needs to happen before it's too late. Uh, Masculines, no matter how standoffish or attentive the feminines are behaving, their heart is still with you. Their heart is 100% still with you. But it's still healing from you. And if not you directly, then somebody that was just before you. Because a lot of feminines were hurt so bad that they said, fuck you. You took too long. I'm now going to go be with someone else. Okay, I'm getting another set of energy. So this is still Sagittarius and Capricorn. If that first part doesn't apply to you, then this part should. Feminines got tired of not being treated a priority. They got tired of their masculine entertaining thoughts and tricks and prostitutes. There's prostitution here. I'm sorry. If you take your clothes off for money, if you have sex for money, if you go on dates for money, even if they're not intentionally paying you for that action, but your only motive is to get money, that's prostitution. That's new age prostitution. Okay? Feminine got fucking fed up and tired of it and walked away. And the masculine did come in. The masculine 100% came in trying to give their emotions and their love to the feminine after treating the feminine the way that they did. And the feminine's just like, no, no. You took too long, or you slept out with that one, you was with this one, I'm not entertaining this. And they're moving on and having a new beginning with someone completely different, and they're not going to leave that person to go back to you. They're not even going to entertain you. As far as they're concerned, you broke their fucking heart, you disrespected them, and now you get to sit back and watch them give somebody else everything that they gave to you. For some of you, the feminine actually knows that you entertained and put people above them, even people that they interacted with, even people that they hung out with. Number one, if I'm intimate with a guy, and he's got a girl, we're not friends. If I'm sitting down eating dinner and a guy that I used to be with sits down next to me with some female, we're not breaking bread together. I'm gonna dismiss myself. Fuck that shit. Okay? Some of these masculines entertained females that were still hanging around with the feminine, or at one point was very close to the feminine, or vice versa, right? Because a feminine and a masculine is just whoever has that masculine energy, and whoever has that feminine energy. Doesn't mean you're an actual male or an actual female, okay? Um, Bottom line, this dynamic, this love situation, it needs communication. If it's going to go anywhere, even if it's going to end, communication needs to happen. Neither person in this specific dynamic, regardless of what's going on, feels that their other person is giving them that emperor, empress energy. And if that doesn't change, I do see the feminine walking away. I do see the feminine just, I'm done. Like, I'm not having it. And the feminine's ready. The feminine's ready for union. The feminine's ready for commitment. Um, and it's very well possible that she's going to have union and commitment with someone else because the masculine's taking too long um, to fix his own crown. The masculine's taking too long. And if not taking too long, whether he's still entertaining other women or not, she's had it. She's done. She cried, she healed, she got back up, and she started walking away. She started walking away because the level of commitment, the level of union was child's play, and she wants the real deal during the day and during the night. And for whatever reason, I'm not sure if she's communicating this with the masculine or not. Um, she's not. She's done. Feminine's not even telling the masculine she's done. She's just like, clock's ticking. You have an expiration date. I'm not giving you the expiration date because I don't want you to cheat. I want to know that you're with me because you want to be with me and you're not with me because you knew you were running out of fucking time. So that the feminine is just like, I'm not even saying anything. If I find somebody else, I find somebody else. If I don't, I don't. Um, but I'm not here anymore. I'm not putting up with this anymore. The feminine is in this. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, I'm okay with that too. The feminine's like adamant on this, and the defensive wall is definitely up. But I do see the masculine being genuine. I do see the masculine coming through quickly. There's a lot of actual real emotion, and it's almost like the masculine wants the feminine to feel his intensity, his passion, and she's so closed off. She's just like, no, no. No, because I felt it in the past and you still acted like a fuck boy. So that's not enough for me either. Like I want evidence. I want all of it. I want the whole 9 yards up front right now, or get the fuck out of here kind of energy. And good for you, feminine. Especially those of you who have been in this dynamic for so long. It's almost like you put up with things that females just should never have to put up with, and for a very very long time. And now that you're in that um empress energy, you're in that, I'm a feminine, I'm an empress, my body's to be fucking respected. You have no problems walking away. You don't give a shit what anybody has to say about you. You don't care if you're going to be by yourself for the rest of your life. And you sure as hell don't care if he's by himself for the rest of his life. Feminine is ready for a fresh start with someone new, and she's going to get it. Make no fucking mistake. Feminine's going to have her way. 100%. And she's not worried about a damn thing. She's not insecure about anything in her life. She's not insecure about nothing. Okay? She's not insecure about her body. She's not insecure about her health. She's not insecure about her mind state. She's not insecure about anything. Because she's in her element. She's in her energy. She wants to stay, but make no fucking mistake, she's okay with walking away. And a lot of them are walking away because the masculines aren't communicating correctly either. They're kind of in this, how much does she know, how much can I still get away with? And if there's a masculine out there still doing that, how much does she know, how much can I get away with, you're going to find yourself by yourself, or settling for someone that's going to check your ass into a fucking nursing home the first opportunity they get. Period. For sure. And I'm not wrong, because there's so many cards that validate the same information. Um, I'm not wrong. Uh, you know, Men and women tend to get so wrapped up. And I said this when I first found out that we were switching from one era to the other and removing the third dimension. It's like masculines and feminines. It's not even just the masculines, it's feminines too. So caught up in the physical realm, so caught up on keeping up with appearances, okay? So caught up in being fucking miserable in your personal life just so you have that magazine image, okay? You know what's horrible about that? Is in the next life, you have to deal with all that shit. And you end up being on the other side where it just doesn't feel good for you. And then you go through life and you're like, why am I going through all of this? Why do I deserve this? Did it ever occur to you that your past life and your actions before this life is the reason why you go through the things that you go through? Did it ever occur to you that your energy as a divine masculine, divine feminine, if that's your role, is why you go through the things that you go through? You're supposed to learn karmic cycles and lessons and supersede them so you don't have to live through that. You have free will to a certain degree if you're a divine feminine masculine. So that's the energy. It's transformative energy. It's major changes. The masculine energy has really done some inner reflection and has made some changes and is worried about his feminine walking away. Has noticed that his feminine is distracted and not demonstrating the level of intimacy that he craves and desires. And again, I still see the masculine. At this present phase, I definitely still see that the masculine is not within the same household as his feminine. I don't see any masculine energy together under the same roof as his feminine, except for those who have just started in a new beginning. Um, and that new beginning could just have happened. I feel like any new beginning is just now happening. It's not something that happened a few weeks ago. And it could be depending on your dynamic. I'm not sure, but it feels like it's just now happening. Like the masculine's just now realizing how fucked he is in this dynamic based off of his actions and lack of um, acceptable behaviors. Hmm, interesting. No, that is interesting. I definitely had another card on here and I don't know where it went, which is fine. Um, just know, masculines, it's time to boss up. You think you have time, but you don't. You really don't. Your feminine's pissed off and fed up. So do what you got to do. Um, say what needs to be said. Have some level of communication. I don't even see the masculines only wanting intimacy either. I feel like a lot of them just want that communication so they can work themselves up to saying what needs to be said, but they chicken the fuck out or they just never say what needs to be said, or they're waiting for an opportunity to say what needs to be said, but that's not how it's going to work. It's just not how it's going to work. Masculines need to open their mouths. They need to say what needs to be said. Feminine's just done. Feminine's done. There's still passion. There's still love. There's just no tolerance anymore. Pretty much. No tolerance. No tolerance for fuckery. No tolerance for bullshit. No tolerance at all. Karmic cycles are completing. And they are, like I said, looking for repetitive behaviors, which are red flags. They're looking for repetitive behaviors and inconsistencies, which will be a red flag for them to be like, you did not change. You do not want this. Um, some of you need to not take that lightly. If you do get forgiveness from your feminine, do not sabotage yourself by stepping out on that relationship. Um, yeah, so that's it. If you have Sagittarius or Capricorn in your birth chart, whoever the more feminine energy is, the more nurturing, loving energy, and not just right now, I'm talking like throughout the whole time of this dynamic, the overall relationship, whoever's had the most feminine, nurturing, loving energy is the feminine, right? In this dynamic. And whoever's been that closed off, cut off, masculine, I don't talk about feelings kind of flow is that masculine energy. Um, I keep hearing the throat chakra needs work. I keep hearing a lawyer was called. Um, I keep hearing the separation with the karmic already happened. A lawyer was called. what? A lawyer was called. Some of them are married or were married and they didn't tell you, but um they didn't tell you, but they are taking action. Some of them didn't say anything to you. Some of them, I did say it. Some of them are called feminines, but they're physically a male. And they're not telling you that they took action as far as leaving the bullshit behind, rushing in to be with you. They're not telling you any of that because they're just trying to be about it. Some of them are hiding a pregnancy from you because they don't know if they're the father or who the father really is. And they are afraid that if you find out someone's pregnant before they can, you know, get you back, um, they're afraid that they'll lose you only to find out that that's not their kid and then they've lost everything. Uh, you know, some of them did craft on you thinking that some of them did craft on you thinking that you were attacking them. And that's their secret. That's what they're worried about. That's what they're concerned that you'll find out that they attacked you unjustifiably and not nice, not at all nice. And now that they're wrong and they want to rush in and save and fix everything, they're concerned. And a lot of them, it was family dynamics. It was getting their family to accept the union, to accept the relationship, which I don't see being an issue. So, feminine, just remember, keep watering your foundation, keep staying in alignment with who you are. Karmic cycles are closing out. We have equinox energy right around the corner. We are in Mercury retrograde, so communication's a little bit off. Um, your body is not to be used. You are a feminine, so don't settle. And again, if you have this feeling that you're masculine or the masculine in this dynamic is not your life partner, it's not that person that connects to your heart through your solar plexus, see you later. Trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. Just let it go. Um, a lot of you, your masculine or this masculine specifically, is only intimate with you. They're not intimate with anyone else. They do have their friends approaching you, trying to kind of feel you out, get to know you, kind of do intel on you. Some of them are they just want to stalk the shit out of you. Some of them, your ex is sending people over with you, to you, because they have not changed. They're not going to change, um, and they know they can't just stalk you the way that they want to, because they did think wrong, or they thought wrong, or their actions or the way they perceived things was incorrect, and they don't know how to come forward and fix this, especially now that they've healed and ascended quite a bit. Something has happened to shake that tree. Um, you want to focus on being grounded. You want to focus on harmonizing the mind, body, soul, and spirit. You want to block out negativity from entering your aura. And you want to restore the peace in this dynamic if this is something worth fighting for in your personal opinion. Um, some of you have ego and pride in your way. Yeah. So, Sagittarius, Capricorn, anywhere in your birth chart, regardless of the placement. You also want to check out the other bedroom conversations as well, because your partner could have those placements in their birth chart. I keep hearing prenup. I keep hearing prenup. I keep hearing you're being lied to. I keep hearing the person's coming in just so you can't go. Some of you, you have this intuitive pull and your defenses are up because you feel like this person's only rushing in to be with you in order to stop you from walking away, and that they're going to go back to the same old things that they used to do because that's their normal pattern and behavior anyway. Um, and you're just waiting for them to expose themselves. You're waiting for them to show who they are. Um, so do the work, stay in alignment with your principles, trust yourself. It's unfortunate because some of these masculines, not just this placement, but some of these masculines in general are realizing that they did horrible things to their feminine. They mistreated them in ways that are extremely bad. Some of them have turned on their feminine, um, listening to other people, uh, really mistreated their feminine. Some of them exposed intimate things of their feminine with other individuals. Um, Feminines, if your guard is completely up and you are not willing to fold on that, I trust the way that you feel. I trust the way that you feel. And if you do decide to give your masculine another chance and they don't completely come clean to you and tell you everything, and you just have that gut intuitive pull that you're telling me a lot but I still know that there's so much more, and you feel that they're rushing into things because they know that this is what you want and they know that they have to give it to you or you're going to get it somewhere else. Prenup. Just do a prenup so that way the divorce doesn't have to be sloppy. So that way, when they fuck up and they go back to who they really are and they're done with the facade, um, or you're done hoping that they're the right person for you and that they've learned their lessons, um, you can walk away, right? Prenup. What's mine is mine, what's yours is yours, and what we buy together is a marital asset. But everything else is separate. So that way it's easier to separate yourself, if you need to. That's such a horrible feeling too. Um, the feminines who are adamant about walking away from this dynamic, I can feel like, and I know what I'm talking about because this is not my feeling of my own. Like this is not how I feel. So to have that burden on my chest, I can feel how much it hurt to know that your masculine did you like that. And I want those feminines to remember, unconditional love does not mean you're a fucking sucker. And sometimes your masculine needs a few more lifetimes to figure it out. We have we have levels, feminines and masculines. Whoever this applies to. We have levels. So we have soulmates, we have twin flames, excuse me. And then we have divine counterparts. And I mean like not just a divine masculine, divine feminine, but a real divine counterpart. Like, you know that story where your soul was cut in half, like somebody's soul was cut in half, and they went separate ways. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I even said that with you guys. So one of my lessons that I got a long time ago was man made us gods. When I say the word God, I mean all gods and all goddesses, but primarily right now I'm talking about the four who made human race. So God, gods, they basically what they showed me was, because I used to really contradict, like I hated it. So I was raised Catholic and I would read through the Bible and I'd find so many discrepancies and I'd be like, wait a minute, but this chapter says this, so how is this happening over here? Like I never really got it. And I'd always walk around and be like, so if God only made Adam and Eve, where did everybody else come from? And then the Bible says, thou shalt not commit incest. So did Adam and Eve commit incest? Did they sleep with their own children to have more children? Did their children sleep with each other? Like, what exactly unfolded here? And the gods that I was learning from, the four ones that created human race, what they explained to me was we all have two sides of us, right? We have a feminine side on the left side and a masculine side on the right side. And when we look at ourselves, we have, one hand bigger than the other. We have different qualities on one side, characteristics on one side versus the other, because one is your feminine, one is your masculine. And what these gods did was they split themselves in half and they mated with self and they made their human race, and not just physically. Okay. God did not make man and woman in their image just physically. There's real divine counterparts out here. There's real divinities. There's real descendants from real heavy esoteric background lineages. Okay. I'm sorry, that's the way it came out of my mouth. Um, and they're not in God's image just physically. They can do amazing fucking things. And having them in your life is amazing. Okay? Whether they're there to teach you lessons, to help you grow and change into a better person, or they're there as your actual, like, man, I don't know how I got through life without you up until this point. You are my world, right? That fulfillment, that, where have you been all my life? Literally the yin yang kind of energy, right? That yin yang, that feminine, masculine side of a divinity. And that's so rare, so rare. So, regardless what you guys decide to do here, I do see the feminine madly in love with their counterpart. And this obstacle or this journey has been really painful and really difficult between the two of you. And I feel like if you guys can just communicate, things would be so much better. So much better. Some of you masculines really did some fuckery, and you don't deserve another chance. And some of you, it's the feminine who did the fuckery. You know, some of you are in dynamics with people who really did you under. And I mean, like, that love, that line between love and hate, they didn't know the difference between the love. They probably felt more hate than love towards you for a long time. And that's so fucked up. So, feminines, masculines, wherever you are, roles reverse. Some of what I said may apply, all of it may apply. Bottom line, you need to communicate. You need to let your partner know that you no longer feel like the feminine or the empress or masculine that you are when it comes to that dynamic, and instead you feel less than how you deserve to feel. And the other one needs to own their shit. They need to apologize. Not even so much apologize. Just own it. Just be like, you know what? I don't know where we went south, but I wanna fix this. I want this to turn around. Because I do see them wanting this. I do see the masculine energy being the energy that rushes in and tries to fix things. Because the feminine is not. The feminine is not the one who rushes in and tries to fix this. The feminine will reciprocate at this point. It's definitely the masculine that is the one that needs to step up and own the dynamic. So that's it for Sagittarius and Capricorn. You do want to check out the other ones to make sure, because you could have multiple, you might even have a little bit of everything in your chart. So check out the other sessions, the other readings. I'm going to be doing things by playlist. I've got several playlists added privately. And as I do the videos, I'll be making the playlist public, so that allows the videos to be public for you guys. So check them out. If you want to schedule with me, I am taking clients in office. you have to be sick and COVID sick free for at least 12 days. We do social distance in my office. You're on one wall and I'm on the other wall. You do not have to wear a face mask, but it is accepted and it is appreciated. I will not be wearing one because I am a physical medium. I do trance channeling. I let my voice change, my demeanor change, my tendencies will change. And I don't like to censor any of that from the client, it takes it away. All scheduling is done either online, Divinity 648, by clicking the book online or book now button, or you can email me booknow@divinity648.com, or you can call or text me. If you call and text me, I'm still going to recommend that you go to the website and schedule online. There is terms and conditions that all clients must adhere to. If you come to see me in office, you do acknowledge and accept all terms and conditions. That's non-negotiable. So, any other questions? info@divinity648.com is the email, and you can contact me. I will respond within 24 to 48 hours.